lovely people, it's Cara here and I am so mad. Great to be back with you this week. Wow, what a few weeks it's been. Autumn suddenly turned up. I say this time, maybe last Sunday before, it was 27 degrees where I live, and I was sunbathing on Bexhill Beach. I was crossing myself that I haven't taken my swimmers, and I could have easily gone swimming in the sea. 2 days ago, it's that cold that I'm thinking, oh, winter boots required. So yeah, what are we to do as sewists in this sort of seasonal weather and transition? Well, we are to start thinking about autumn sewing, I suppose. There's a bit of sunshine today, so I thought I'd pop on and do some recording today and update you on what I've been up to. And today I'm sharing with you two really complex, involved makes that I managed to do in 1 week. And I work full time, so not quite sure what I was thinking really. But I did do a bit of prep work. So this week I'm going to be sharing with you the Melilot Shirt by Deere and Doe and the Dawn jeans. So let me stand up. Oh, let me give you a sneak peek. Here we are. The Dawn jeans. Oh, light going mad. The Dawn jeans by Megan Nielsen. And got a lot going on at the moment, as have we all, and I did some batch cutting, so I'll share a picture somewhere here of the batch cutting, and it was really organised of me. I cut out the Melilot shirt, I cut out the Dawn jeans, I've cut out, I'm looking at the sort of work in progress just behind the camera. There's a lovely grey blouse, from the Makerist, which is coming up in a video soon when I get a chance to make it. I've also got another Lacala pattern, and then behind me there I've got a heather dress, and over here that's a sneak peek there of something I've not done before, which I'll share that with you in another video. But yeah, mad batch cutting, mad PDF cutting, because I didn't have any of these patterns. So I just spent, I think, 2 nights doing PDFs like mad. And then the next night I spent cutting like mad, and I don't normally do it that way. So, but yeah, it then meant that last week, because I can't remember what day it is, but last week I was able to then focus on creating a shirt and some jeans. So here we are, the Melilot shirt. I'm sure many of you are familiar with this pattern by Deere and Doe. Now, I bought this pattern moons ago, years and years ago, quite early on in my dressmaking sort of adventures, if you like. And I made because you can get on the back here, so you've got a long sleeved, you've got a short sleeved, and then you've got full collar, and then you've got grandad collar, so you can do variations of those. And when I made the shirt before, I could not get the grandad collar to work. I don't think I can make the collar work. So it's been really interesting coming back to it after all this time. So that's got to be a good 2 years ago that I tried to make this shirt last time. And I did make a shirt. I haven't got a picture of it. Made it in a cotton poplin with sausage dogs on it, and multicoloured sausage dogs, which is really good fun. But I don't think it made it into sort of everyday rotation. I'm not sure why, but I couldn't get the collar to work for love nor money. But I've got to say, I really enjoyed making this. Now, before I go any further, this fabulous Lady Mcelroy fabric came from Caroline and Fliss at Felicity Fabrics. I'm so fortunate to be part of their blogger team, and they let me choose the fabric and pattern of my choice. So they provided the fabric for me, and I'm so grateful to them. I have been coveting this fabric for a really long time. I might maybe take a picture of a close-up of the fabric, because the detail in this is just fabulous. It's just got beautiful birds on it. It's this beautiful blush pink. Let me come right in close so you can see it. Look, and let me stick a chest into the camera. It's absolutely lovely. Yeah, sorry about that. Couldn't resist sharing that with you. It's just such a lovely cotton to work with, and yeah, if you've been dressmaking a long time, it's no secret how lovely cotton is to work with. If you haven't been dressmaking a long time and you want to make a shirt, make it out of something like this, because it would just do half of the work for you. because it irons really well, does exactly what it's told. So what was making the shirt like? To be honest, I found it a little confusing. Um, this is a hidden button placket here, so I hope you can see that. Now I'll be flashing you too much. So you've got buttons in here, and then this folds across, and then the first set of instructions are about how to make the placket. Now I've got to be honest, I didn't find that very clear at all, and I tried to YouTube sew alongs to the Melio, and although there was a couple, they were done on time lapse, which was so quick, I just couldn't see how they did it. So you actually fold this flat back on itself and then stitch it down. Now I think I followed the instructions correctly, but my actual button placket itself is quite small. It's probably more likely that I didn't choose the right sort of buttons, because the button placket, oh, well, it is sitting flat now. Maybe I just needed to wear it and give it a chance. But sometimes the button placket has a tendency to flip open, but it's nothing to do with the shirt design. It's absolutely everything to do with the maker, in this case me. But I did choose some beautiful pink that we can write in close here. Some beautiful blush pink buttons from my local haberdashery. Sewed them in, and then realised that they were too thick. The depth of them was too thick, and then the button placket would pop open. If I'm honest, so the construction of the placket, you do that first, and that's a really good thing, because then once you sussed it out, you feel like, ooh, I'm making a proper shirt. Well, that's how I felt anyway, because it does really make you feel like you're making something really, really pucker and like grown up. And it comes together quite quickly then, because you do the shoulder seams and side seams, and then you make the collar. Yeah, I think I've got that around the right way. It's not really, I'm not really intending to do a full review for you. Just want to share my experiences of what I found about making the Melilot shirt, because it came together really, really well. You interface one of the collars and one of the neck bands, or collar stands, sorry, which is fairly straightforward. You do interface the button placket. Both button plackets have interfacing in them, so that gives it a really nice level of structure and gives you this proper professional sort of finish. I posted some pictures of my progress of it, because the detail is just lovely. In the we can write in close here. Hear my chair moving. You've got these lovely pleats in the button and the placket here, and then there's a full-on, I don't know if you can see that very well, there's a full-on cuff placket here, I don't know what you call it, and I don't think I'd done one of those before. I did the short sleeve last time. Look, if I undo the button here, and I'm really chuffed with how that's all come out. Even on the inside, it's really, really neat. And sometimes I make clothes that look really smart on the outside, might not always be as neat on the inside, but this time I'm really proud of how the outside and inside have come out. I really took my time on the top stitching around the cuff. Now the instructions have you French seam this. I didn't, because I realised after I'd cut it out that 2 years ago I'd made a size, I think it was a size 40, I want to say. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, what's next up from 4? So a size 42. And if I'm honest, I'm scratching my nose there, sorry. If I'm honest, my measurements probably are a little bit bigger than that. So it's definitely a slim fit shirt, and I didn't want to take the risk that the French seams would take in just that tiny amount. So I overlocked the innards, but it still looks really neat. So I'll pop some footage in of me prancing around in my garden. And you can see the sort of, it's got a lovely bottom curve to this shirt, which is really nice. And yes, it looks like a really professional shirt, which is just lovely. yeah, I'm wondering what else. It got pockets here. We've got pockets on the front. And again, I'm not always a huge fan of pockets. I always worry about pocket placement and things like that. But actually, I'm really pleased with how they came out. And also, my pattern matching. I'm going to stand up and show you. Don't even see this. My pattern matching across the front here was absolutely bob on. Uh, if I'm honest, I don't know how that happened. It's more luck than judgment, I think. But wow, so I wasn't worried about it. I don't worry about things like that. In a busy print like this, I'm not too concerned about. It's quite shadowy in here today, so I hope you can see me okay. But I don't worry about things like that. But oh, the utter joy when it comes out. Lovely. Didn't pattern match the pockets, although there are elements that are pattern matched again by more luck than judgment. So what do you think? Do you know, I think it's got in the footage you'll see I'm actually walking around, I think, with there's the light going again. I'm actually walking around with the Dawn jeans on, which I'll talk about in more detail. And I think it's got a quite 70s vibe about it when I'm walking around with the denim with the pink Dawn jeans. But when in the standard jeans, there's not so much because in the 70s, I think they sort of wore these sort of colours together. And the collar, I think, is also quite 70s-esque. I was quite pleased when I finished it, the interfacing was quite stiff, so it sort of stuck out quite a lot. But now that I've washed it, which I never normally do with makes after I've made them, I just wear them immediately, but I washed it again to see how the collar would come out. And it's the first time I've made a shirt where the collar, size of the collar feels right and it doesn't overpower the rest of the shirt. But I'm super pleased. Yeah, I think actually the colour is quite pale on me. I'm leaning forward there a little bit more. So I'm not. It's a bit of a shame because I'm not actually sure this colour is doing that much for me. Actually, I think it washes me out a little bit, but it ain't going to stop me from wearing it because I absolutely love this shirt. I'm really proud of it, which is great. And then Dawn jeans. So a Melilot shirt is enough, enough hours, enough work there to keep some people going for ages. But I made this in literally a couple of nights, I think. I've taken to doing sort of a bit of sewing quite often because I've been working and I work alternate weekends. So I sometimes get a day off in the week and then have the weekend off alternately. Love that. So then I decided to make some Dawn jeans in the same week. So let me stand up and show you those, although I'm going to put some footage in as well. So these are the Dawn jeans. Now I appreciate you can't see a huge amount of them when I'm standing straight in front of the camera here. So let me sit back down again. And I'll put some footage in of me walking around in the garden. I love the Dawn jeans. Now I made the wide leg Dawn jeans. I'll put a link up here to that. I made those in the summer and I've just worn them constantly, and I'm still in absolute awe that I made jeans. I made jeans that I'm actually going to wear and that fit. So if you haven't made jeans before, Dawn jeans are the way to go, I think. Now my personal thing is I think it's because they're not fitted like the ginger jeans. So the ginger jeans are designed for a stretch and they're designed to be close fitting. They're a skinny jean, although you can make them in different designs. Whereas the Dawn jeans, you've got lots of lovely options. Let me show you. I've got the packet here. This is what I made last time. I made the wide leg jeans in a 7-ounce denim from Felicity Fabrics. And this is what I've made this time. So I made the tapered leg in this beautiful cord. I'm going to show it to you once again because I've got no apologies for how much I love this fabric. So this fabric, I'm just such a lucky lady because this fabric comes from Dragonfly Fabrics, who I work with, and there I am busy packing orders. This was in the sale. I'm not sure the sale is still going on at the moment, but I was just like packing orders for this fabric. I'm like, I have to have have some of this fabric in my life. And they very kindly gifted that to me in exchange for a vlog. And yeah, let's face it, I'm talking endlessly about how wonderful this fabric is. It's a really it's a lightweight cord. It's like a baby cord in a blush pink, and it has been an absolute dream to work with. Now, it has got an element of stretch, and the Dawn jeans don't require any stretch. They're actually made for rigid denim. But I'm okay with that because I did have to amend the pattern a little bit. So it actually, the tapered element came up quite wide on me. So I made the same size. Let me think. Be good to look these things up before you decide, Cara. What size did you make? So I made the size 14 in the Dawn jeans, and I'd made the size 14 in the wide leg, and I made no adjustments to the wide leg trousers. I literally put them on out of the packet. That never happens. So I was optimistic as ever that the tapered leg of the Dawn jeans would do the same. Sadly it didn't, and I ended up taking out a lot, probably this much of both sides, and also of the seat rise. Now my daughter said to me when I was trying them on, she's like, "Mum, you've got such a flat bum." It's true, I don't have a particularly big bottom at all. In fact, it just tails off. There's nothing there. My mum had the same sort of style bum. My daughter hasn't inherited that. She's inherited a beautiful bottom that my husband has, which is lovely. I digress. So quite a few tweaks and adjustments, but overall still just such a lovely make. I didn't put some fancy. Actually, tell you what I do. I'll go and pop some different trousers on, and then I can show you in some more detail. So hang on a sec. Here we go. So I've popped some standard jeans on so that I can share with you some of the detail in these Dawn jeans. So they can see just how beautiful the fabric is. Sort of the baby cord rib. They're so soft. And I chose to use a white top stitching, but it's just standard cotton. I did the same thing in my Dawn jeans, and I was quite surprised actually just how visual standard cotton is. And you know what? That just makes the construction so much easier. Maybe it's cheating, but I'll go with it. They're my jeans. So there you go. So you can see the back pocket detail. And I just simply ironed a mitered corner, and so that you can see the sort of the crease lines, if you like, and then use that as a template for my back pocket. I just didn't want to get caught out on doing all this wonderful work and then mucking up the design. And I just like the simplicity of it, actually. I'll be brave enough one day to do something else. So it's a full jeans construction. So you've got belt loops there. You got the yoke, you got the pockets, and then you got a coin pocket on this side here. And what I was going to say was, on a lot of the jeans these days, pattern designers encourage you to do fancy pockets inside. But I like this fabric so much that I actually kept it to the cord. Now, I think if it was a rigid denim or something, then maybe it's a good idea to put cotton or different viscose pockets, things like that, because it could add weight and be quite structured. But as I say, the movement in this cord is just lovely. So I'm super pleased. And you know what was really funny? I did a sew along, like a mammoth sew along for the Dawn jeans, which I really enjoyed doing, but it is the longest film in history for sewing and sew alongs. I really enjoyed doing it, but actually I got to watch my own tips and tricks. It was funny, coming back to the Dawn jeans, because in the first pair, I sort of had issues over the placement of the button placket, of this piece, I think it was, and I did some mad things where I sewed the pockets on the wrong way round. Because you have the fabric facing out, you actually sew them the opposite way than you would expect to, so that they're right sides out as opposed to insides out. So I watched my own sew along and learnt from my own tips. Joys of being a vlogger, I suppose. And then I put these these nice contrasting jeans buttons on. They are the sort that you hammer in. So thank goodness they got the placement of those right. But overall, I am super pleased with these. I love the high-waistedness of them. I did have to take in as I say, the seat. I took this in, so I did a very slight adjustment to the back seam here, so my yoke doesn't line up quite as much as it might do, but it's all right with me. It's absolutely fine. I'm even pleased with how the waistband on the inside came out this time. I don't know about anyone else, but when I put on my Instagram, which I think is what I was going to mention before and forgot, when you fold over and when you get to this final step, you fold this over. I always have issues with these corners, making these look really crisp. If anyone knows of any tutorials where you can make your edges really crisp, you know the bit I mean, where you've got the seam allowance, which is often folded under to create this neat edge here, and then you basically top stitch, don't you, all the way through here. Now on the outside, what I tend to find is on the outside it looks really neat, but on the inside somehow it doesn't actually match the line, and I can never work out why that is. And nobody really shares their inside of their work, so I don't know how common that is. But I always find getting that edge there to match up and be absolutely bob on pretty tricky, and it was exactly the same here on these corners on the shirt, and they're the very bits that you need to be the crispest. It took me forever just to get that corner and the seam allowance tucked in and up and over, and it never helps, does it, that it's a corner, so you've obviously got two edges of seam allowance to deal with. If you know any top tips of that, please share that with me. I'm hoping there are many sewists that would be very grateful. I seem to be leaning into my camera today, so because there's sort of shadow here, I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But there you go. So I made Dawn jeans and Melilot shirt in a week, and I am chuffed to pieces. So I hope you enjoyed my little soiree into that, just really enjoyed that. And thank you again to Felicity Fabrics and Dragonfly Fabrics for supporting my adventures and sharing my journey with my dressmaking. I really appreciate it. So been great to be with you here again. Coming up next from me is a number of different things actually. I've got a couple of ideas I want to go with, but I want to share with you what I've been sewing, what else I've been sewing so far this month. And then, as promised, I'm going to share with you in a week or so's time my top 5 favourite patterns. So until then, thank you so much to all of those who are subscribing. Please don't be shy. Many of you watch without subscribing, and I'd love to know you're there, so please do hit that subscribe button and then the bell for notifications of when I release new videos. I hope to do one a week. It's not quite working out like that at the moment, what with house moving preparations and bits and pieces, but that's just the crazy life that is. But until next time, please stay safe and well. It's been great to be with you. Take care everyone. Bye bye.